the most gorgeous, wonderful woman in the world. My first lady, Pastor Renee. She got me with her singing, y'all. If y'all never heard her sing, she got me. She got me. I was like, I'm yours. She got me. So, amen. I'm not going to be before you long because I know time is definitely of the essence. So just bear with me a couple of moments because I'm definitely sure we got some other stuff going on with the opioid discussion, and I want God to have his way. Amen. So if you have your Bibles, if you're a believer, you should have your Bible, whether it's on paperback, on your tablet, on your phone, whatever apparatus you have it on. Chapter 4, and we'll be starting our first one. Now before we read, there's one thing that I do at my church that make things go faster. I canvass the room to look for smiles. Please smile at me. Please, I don't care if it's yours or not. Trust me, if you pay for it, it's yours. Smile. Smiling releases endorphins in your head. Feel good moods, amen. If some of y'all been here since 8 o'clock, you need to smile. Smile at me so Pastor can get out the way, amen. Amen. So here we get in the reading of God's holy word. Genesis chapter 4, starting at verse 1. Now the man had marital relations with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. Then she said, I have created a man just as the Lord did. Then she gave birth to his brother Abel. Abel took care of the flocks while Cain cultivated the ground. At the designated time, Cain brought some of his fruit to the ground for an offering to the Lord. But Abel brought some of the firstborn of his flock, even the fattest of them. And the Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering. But with Cain and his offering he was not pleased. So Cain became very angry, and his expression was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry, and why is your expression downcast? Is it not true that if you do what is right, you'll be fine? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at the door. It desires to dominate you, but you must subdue it. Cain said to his brother Abel, let's go out into the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is your brother Abel? And he replied, I don't know. Am I my brother's guardian? Verse 9. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is your brother? He replied, I don't know. Am I my brother's guardian? Lord, bless your word. Take me out the way and put yourself all in the way. Change the agenda. Let your word go forth. Let it minister who it needs to minister to, touch who it needs to touch, edify who it needs to edify. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Look at the person next to you and say, I am your keeper. I am your keeper. I am your keeper. In coming together in the topic, unity in the community, I'll say, God, what is it that you want me to say? Because there's a lot that you can say about unity. There's a lot that you can say about community. We can come up with all fancy words, but God says, I just want you to keep it simple. K-I-S-S, keep it simple, Simon. So I said, okay, we're going to keep it simple, Simon. Keep it simple, saints, however you want to put it. So he said the problem that we are facing within the body of Christ, or the problem that we're facing in the world in general, is that everything, it seems to be divided.
Right. Yeah. Come on.
Everything seems to be behind the land, the sand, the line that's drawn in the sand. You're either with the left or you're with the right. Either you're with the good or you're with the bad. Either you're with the saved or the unsaved. And it seems like it's getting even more divided as we get closer to Christ coming back. So I said, God, what is it going on? He said, first of all, the division that we see, first of all, has been divinely placed. I said, God, what do you mean? He said, first of all, if the devil can get you divided, he already conquered you. If he can get you thinking a certain kind of way that's opposite from somebody else, he already got you. He's already won. So the division that we see, or the division that we've experienced, within the church or within the community where everybody says, I'm going to get mine, forget about yours. I'm going to step over you to get what I need. I need.
Come on.
That's the community. That's the life that we live.
Right.
And it's not so much within the people that are unsaved. It's so much within the people that are supposed to be following Christ that think that I need to step over you, that it's about me and how I get me. It's me, myself, and I. No unity.
That's right. That's right. Come on, Reverend.
And if we have no unity, it's best that I can attack from different areas. Because if we're not thinking on one accord, if we're not falling on one accord, then it's easy to rip things apart. And we wonder why churches and people and families can't get along anymore. How aunties and uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters won't even talk to each other no more. Because it's the division. There's no unity.
Come on, say it.
Unity, as Pastor Ray said, is a state of being united or joined as a whole. Last time I learned math, not the new math that we learned, because the new math, the core math, is strangling my brain. My little 11-year-old come home and 2 + 2 = 6, and if you can explain 6, then it makes sense. No, that's the lie. That's the lie, because 2 + 2 is 4. I'm sorry, I got off. Come back. But what I learned as a whole means one. Whole. Unity, the state of being united or joined as one. One whole. Then I looked up community, and the community was a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common.
Come on.
Yes.
Unity in the community. Unity, being one whole. Community, a particular characteristic that we all have in common.
That's good.
Unity, one whole. A community being together, having one characteristic in common. That's what unity in a community is. One whole, believing one thing, having all in common. So I said, God, how is it that we talk about unity, we talk about community, and he said, but the problem is people forget this one word. If you have a pen or paper, you just write this one word. It's spelled C-O-M-M. Calm. C-O-M-M. I've never been in the military, but military people say when they say calm, that's short for communication. When they say calm, that's short for communication. And in community, there is calm before unity. So if communication means that we talk, that we spend time, that we communicate with each other, that we converse with each other to get on, to be whole, because unity means to be whole, and if we are calm, or if we in communicating, and calm means to communicate, community means talk till we become one. Talk until we become one. Have a conversation until we become one. And then when we take calm and put unity together, and once we talk, then we can be believing in the same characteristic. We can believe on one particular thing. The text we see here, everybody knows this story. Even growing up as a little kid, we talk about Cain and Abel all the time and how Cain killed Abel. When we use it. But here's the problem with this situation here. We have Cain giving what we think would be an offering that God wanted. It looked nice. It smelled nice. It was edible. It looked good, had all the nice colors. Then we had Abel, who presented something that was dirty.
Come on.
My God.
He presented something that had to have blood in it.
Come on.
He had to kill. He had to smell awful. He had to smell bad. And God accepted his smelling bad offering. So I said, God, what does this have to do with the community? He said, the problem is the church, the people that believe in me, look beautiful. He said they look beautiful. He said they look like the fruit. He said they look like the flowers. He said they look so immaculate and that you won't want to put them on a shelf. But he said the problem is my people are the ones that are dirty.
Come on.
He said my people are the ones that are bloody. My people are the ones that are stinking. My people are the ones that are literally
Come on.
not looking appealing. And he said the problem is we talk about unity, but you're not talking to the ones that are dirty. He said we want to unite each other, but the problem is I don't want you to unite with the one that looks like you. How so? First of all, when Jesus left, he said the Great Commission, he said, go out to the world. Go out to the world. Go out to the world. That means don't stay here in the upper room. He said, don't stay here in the upper room. He said, get out of this room. I've given you power. Get out of this room. Now go out into the world. The world is dirty. Dirty, stinky, smells bad. But God said, that's who I want. He said, Abel brought me a gift that I want. He said, Abel brought me something that I can deal with, that I can fix, that doesn't think that they're perfect. You are bringing me something that thinks they got it all together. You are speaking to people that think they have it all together. They're not the community church. They're not the community. The community don't look like what we look like here in New Life. The community don't look like Pastor Jamal and all the pastors with the collars and the robes and the good stuff and everything. They don't look like us. What they look like is Pookie and Ray Ray and Tasha and Samika who smoke weed and drink. That's what the community looks like. He said the problem that I had with Cain's offering is because first of all, Cain made it look all good. He packaged it all together thinking that's what I wanted. He said, well, first of all, Cain missed it. How did he miss it, Brad? He said, first of all, I died for the dirty.
Come on.
Wait a minute. Wait. He said, I died for the dirty. He said, first of all, the lamb was slain before the foundation of the world. So that means before he said, let there be light, the lamb died for you. So if he initiated in the beginning that I wanted to die for something dirty, why are you bringing me something clean?
My God.
We are trying to unify a community and try to unify and bring people together. But God said, who are you bringing together? We can talk so much about bringing the churches together. We can talk so much about bringing the pastors together. But he said, first of all, if your agenda is not about bringing me something dirty for the community, you're missing the point. So we fast forward. Cain looked at Abel's sacrifice. God was happy. Cain has a problem. Cain kills Abel. So then God talks to Abel. God talks to Cain. Then the Lord asked Cain, he said, first of all, he said, where's your brother? I have a problem with that. He said, where's your brother? God is all knowing. He knows everything. He knows your thoughts before you think of it. He asked him a rhetorical question. Where is your brother? Where is the person that's dirty? Where is the person that cut up the calf? Where is the person that got his hands dirty? Where is the person that smelled bad? Where is the person that don't look like you? He got his hands dirty. Where's he at, Cain? Church. Where are they at? And you know what Cain said? He had the nerve to tell God, I don't know. He said, I don't know. I don't know where they are. Yes, you do. You step out your door every morning.
Say it. Come on.
You step out your door every morning. And the problem is, God's saying that unity begins, first of all, with me. You can't have unity without me. I'm the head. And from the head, everything flows. So if I'm the head, and if I'm peace, and if I'm unity, and if I'm connection, then if you're connected to me, then everything falls, right? But the problem is we're not connected to him. We're connected to our source. We're connected to ourselves. And we think that we're doing a good thing, but what is it accomplishing? Where's the fruit of your labor? Is your church filled with people that just believe like you, or people that are dirty? The problem is with some of our churches, not at New Life, but not our church, but with some of our churches, if you don't affect the bottom line, we don't want you. If you don't affect the bottom line, we don't want you. But God said, I didn't want the pretty thing from Cain. The pretty thing was the bottom line. The pretty thing was the thing that kept the lights on. The pretty thing is what kept the pastor getting his salary. He said, I want the dirty thing. I said, why is that, God? He said, because if you think about it, he said, before a diamond shines, it's a piece of coal. He said, before a diamond shines, it's a piece of coal. So he said, first of all, the community, how you see it, is not the way I see it. He said, think of it this way. He said, the community and where we see, we think it's dirty, it's this grimy, and people on drugs, and they don't care about life. He said, no, first of all, that is a piece of coal. He said, the community is a piece of coal. He said, a diamond only becomes a diamond under immense heat, under immense pressure. What you see is the dirt and the coal. He said, but what I want you to do is go get that dirt that you think is dirt. Go get that piece of coal, bring them to my house so I can put their life on pressure. Woo! So that I can turn them into a diamond. He said, you can't unite without me. You can't unite. It can't be any unity without me. It can't be. Impossible. You can't do it. It will never happen. You have to put God in the equation. You have to. So God says that one thing that we have to understand is that in order to be unified, you have to see that person like yourself. You also have to see that person like family. He said, if your son or your daughter or your aunt or your uncle was drowning and dying, you would do everything in your power to get him. Why? That's your blood. That's your family. That person is valuable to you. The problem is, the reason why we can't unite, we lost the value in who we see. We lost the value in the person we're looking at. So because we lost the value in the person that we're looking at, we let them die. We say, you're not worth my time anymore. We say, you're killing yourself already, so why should I waste my time? You say, you chat about yourself when you put the needle in your arm. Why should I care anymore? It's the same thing Cain said about Abel. I don't know. He said, I don't know. So because Cain stopped valuing Abel, he killed him. How many of us have killed people every day? because we don't value them. We take them at face value, right? We look at them and say that you ain't worth it. You ain't worth my time, saying, Jesus loves you, brother. Come with me. Come with me. We don't say that. Am I your keeper? Am I your keeper? That's what God is saying. Are you their keeper? Do you care enough? You want to talk about unity. First of all, he said, if we ain't unified, you can definitely tell that I'm not in it. He said, I'm a God of order. He said, I'm a God of order. And everything I do is perfect. And everything that I'm in, it lines up just like the line on his floor. And he said, if it's crooked, then we have a problem. So, unity is a big part of the community. God says, first of all, Cain did not love Abel. Because it says, love gives something that it can't get back in return. Love gives something that it can't get back. If you love someone, you give them time. You can't get that back. It's gone. If you love someone, you can give them money. You can't get that back that day. It's gone. Love is sacrifice. If you sacrifice a kidney or eyeball or something, you can't get it back. That's love, but you only do that for those you love. God says, what did you give to someone else that you can't give back? Real question. He said, what did you give from yourself? Did you give your time? Did you open your mouth? Did you go into the nest and pull somebody out of the nest because you love them that much? Or when Jesus said, where were they? Did you say, I don't know? Pastor, what does this have to do with unity in the community? We have a community of people that are not in here. Yes. First of all, like Pastor Reyes, I'm from New York, and I'm pretty sure he can attest to this. In New York, in Brooklyn, we had churches that seemed on every block. Literally, we have a church here. You can walk 6 feet away, and there's another church here, another church. We can have about 6 different churches all on a city block. None of them talk to each other. And that block sometimes is the most crime-ridden block you would think in your life. And you would think because they had 6 churches, you would have Christ and it'll be power-packed. No. No. Because first of all, Christ is not the head.
My God. Come on.
We have a community where we have churches in this community. And I said, God, in Hadestown, we have a lot of churches. There should be no reason that if Christ is in the mix, that the power of God should not be ripping through the city. So that leaves me with one equation. Where is Christ? I know it's hard. It's okay. It's okay. Where's Christ? We can preach it. We want unity. We want togetherness. We won't have it unless we put Christ in it. We won't. It stopped being about us a long time ago. Jesus is coming back for real. And if I want to talk about the community, first of all, the community had to see us together, right? Why? Wait a minute, Mom. First of all, Christ is the head of the church. We're supposed to be the light in the earth. If Christ is supposed to be the head of the church, and we're supposed to be the light, and people are supposed to look at us and how we operate, and if we are apart, that means Christ is not together. And if Christ is not together, how am I going to connect to a God that you can't even get along with? So I said, we want togetherness. We want to go out into the community, but even when we go out into the community, we are all still divided. The church is it's still not divided because one church wants to do this and another person wants to do that. And like you said, it doesn't matter. There's no I in team.
That's right.
Now, if we put the realization that Christ is coming back for one body, he's coming back for unity. He's coming back for unity. He's coming back for one. If we start thinking like that, then we can have unity in the community. Because then what happens is the people see an army.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to say this and I'm done. First of all, I used to be part of a gang growing up in Brooklyn, New York. I used to run with a gang. And the thing about a gang is when we move, we step together. When we did our dirt together. When we came down the block, people crossed the street because we was 15, 20 deep, and they didn't want that problem. What would happen?
My God.
Come on.
What would happen if all the churches in Hagerstown
Come down like an army.
just come down Jonathan Street,
Come on.
50, 60, 100 deep, just walking down the street, praying over people, laying people out?
Yes.
I promise you, it's like turning on the light. If anybody had roaches, you turn on the light.
Come on,
the
they
roaches,
scatter. Yes.
I promise you, if we get that connected, if we get that unified as one body and walk together and work together, I promise you, it will change. Because the enemy will say, I know it's coming down the street. I don't want that. I don't want that problem. Now the devil right now is saying, we guys are separated. We're separated. And I love the fact that they're separated. But if we can come to one body, one mind, one agenda, which is Jesus, and saying we're going to move and work collectively as Jesus would have us do, we would see the unity in the community. We would see it. So I appreciate Pastor Jamal and putting this together. Because I don't believe in being an island to yourself. You do more with two people than you do with one. We can cast out more people with more people. We can do it together. But we have to stop thinking with an individual mind. Because actions speak louder than words.
Amen.
Actions speak louder than words. And it's time out that we stop talking about it and be about it. Stop talking about it and be about it. Because first of all, when Christ died, he didn't die in the cave. When Christ died, he didn't die in the cave. He died on top of a mountain, held high, so the world can see him. Because he said, if I'll be lifted up, if I'll be lifted up, I'll draw all men. So we want unity in the community. Lift up Christ. Higher than yourself.
Yes.
I got problems, Christ.
Yes.
I got issues, Christ. I got financial problems, Christ. I can't get them to listen to me. Just Christ.
Yes.
And he'll draw. How do you live up Christ, Pastor? Worship. Get in his face. Prayer.
Yes.
Talk to him. Make him your priority. And when you make him your priority, everything gets straight.
Amen.
Amen.
And then when everything gets straight, and the community sees that we're straight, under God's direction, they'll come. They don't want to come to something as crazy as they are.
Come on.
They don't want to come to something as dysfunctional as they are. They want to come to something that's in line. That's what they want to come to. And it's not coming to you, it's coming to Christ. But first of all, we got to align ourselves with Christ so he can stand in front of us, because Christ is not going to stand in front of us if we're like this. So Christ wants you like this so he can stand in front of you. They can see him and not you.
Come on.
That's good.
Unity to the community. God bless. Give God praise. Give God praise.
Pastor Al, y'all can sit down, Pastor Al. One of the little songs spoken, you talk about, I don't turn me up, I don't talk that Praise the Lord. Thank you, Pastor Reyes and Pastor Allen. Thank you for your word. Yes, sir. Thank you for that portion of what we are starting to do. Amen.
Amen.
Much needed word. Yes, sir. I think that, you know, we were scrambling to see who was going to do what for the last 3 months. But as we were scrambling, I think God was directing it.
Yes.
I do. I think as we were scrambling to find out who was going to do what, I think God was putting it all in all in order for us. And I appreciate that was an on-time word. Amen. Look, he said, let Pastor Reyes go first. I don't have that much. Oh. Are you shy? You're not shy. Me too. I am too. The funny thing is my wife will tell you how shy I am, but when God tells you to do something, amen. I do not like being put on display. I can't stand it. Look, you just went back into your shell right now. A few years ago, when I first come to church, I met this pastor who talk like, I mean, he couldn't get a sentence out. But when he preached or sang, there was no stuttering at all. And I think that God will allow us to be who we are, but still use us for his glory. Amen. And so that was an on-time teaching by Pastor Reyes and an on-time word by you. Amen. Come on, can we thank God for these days? Amen. And so, and moving on to the next portion, are we ready? Okay, well, praise the Lord. Let's set up. Men, can you come and grab this pulpit? I think this is a table discussion, right? And we're going to go from there. I need a couple more mics, please. Pastor Ray, I still my mic. Still have no.
Took it with him.